Good evening, America. Welcome to Klepper's Corner, the show where we break down the news with a precision scalpel, or at least a very sarcastic butter knife. Tonight, we're talking about President Joe Biden's farewell address. That's right, folks, the Amtrak Avenger himself is signing off. And if you missed it, don't worry. We'll recap it so you can feel like you were sitting right there next to your dad, who's asleep in the recliner.
Hello, Americans. I'm speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office.
Ah, the Oval Office, a room so iconic, even its geometry gets a mention. You know it's a big deal when the president busts out the prime real estate. This isn't your garden variety rose garden fare. But don't worry, he kept the speech short. Well, short by Biden standards, which is to say, longer than the average Fast and Furious sequel.
After 8 months of nonstop negotiation, my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year. This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration. That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed.
8 months of negotiations. That's less time than it takes to get bipartisan agreement on naming a post office, but hey, he did it. But a Middle East peace deal is nothing to sneeze at, especially since the last guy tried to solve it with a map from the back of a kid's placemat at Denny's. Although, to be fair, at least that map came with pancakes.
You know, his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote. 6 decades later, I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech-industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well.
Tech-industrial complex. That's a fancy way of saying we need to watch out for Jeff Bezos. I mean, the man owns half the internet, most of the retail economy, and at this rate, probably Mars. And let's not forget Elon Musk. He's out here running 5 companies, tweeting like a college sophomore who just discovered Ayn Rand and trying to implant USB ports into your brain. Yeah, Joe, we're a little worried too.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America, and we've seen it before, more than a century ago. But the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts.
The oligarchy, a word that sounds like a fancy brunch spot, but is actually the reason your rent keeps going up. You know, Joe's right. We've got billionaires deciding elections, buying islands, and racing each other to space. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just trying to figure out why eggs cost $8 a dozen.
Let me close by stating my gratitude to so many people, to the members of my administration, as well as public service and first responders across the country and around the world. Thank you for stepping up to serve. To our service members and your families, it's been the highest honor of my life to lead you as Commander-in-Chief. And of course to Kamala and our incredible partner, the historic Vice President. She and Doug have become like family, and to me, family's everything.
Shout out to the administration, the public servants, and of course the Biden family, keeping things folksy since 1942. And let's not forget Hunter. You know, say what you want about the guy, but at least he's keeping laptop repair businesses afloat.
You're the love of my life and the lives of my love. My eternal thanks to you, the American people. After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard.
Beautiful words, Joe. But stand guard makes it sound like we're preparing for an alien invasion. And honestly, at this point, why not? We've already had murder hornets, a pandemic, Kanye running for president, and rioters breaking into the Capitol. What's a couple of little green men? But seriously, folks, Biden loves America, not as much as sniffing or ice cream, but you gotta respect a guy who spent his entire life in public service. Or at least you'd better, because I'm pretty sure he knows where the skeletons are buried. So what's next for America? We've got challenges, we've got opportunities, and if history is any guide, we've got at least 1 or 2 more Twitter scandals to look forward to. But if there's one thing this farewell address reminds us, it's that democracy isn't just about who's in office, it's about all of us. Well, all of us and whatever billionaires are currently working on their space bunkers. Looking at you, Bezos and Musk. That's all for tonight's Klepper's Corner. As always, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you found this video repulsive, leave a dislike, a hate comment, and unsubscribe. Thank you for your time. Have a good one, folks.